Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and I hope you've all had an amazing new year. We are now in 2024. Not when I film this, it is the day before, it is New Year's Eve, and when I'm filming this, still very, very pregnant. But I thought I would quickly put together a little video for you guys on things that I do not buy weekly to save us money, and I'm trying to give you some inspiration and maybe ways in which you can cut down your budget, cut down your spending in 2024 to help you get by. The inflation is real, it is crazy, and these are just ways in which we as a frugal family live without going into debt, and they really help us out financially so that at the end of the month we have money in our savings accounts, in our retirement fund, in our pension, in our paying off our mortgage early. We divvy up our finances into many different ways, and this is how we manage to have more flexibility to do that, because we're not spending money on things that I guess most people who live in the West do probably spend their money on. I've got 25 things that I have thought of that we don't buy on a weekly basis, and I have one bonus one right at the end. They're not to say that we never buy these things, they're just generally things that we do not buy regularly. It's a one-off, it's once every couple of weeks, it's when there's a reason to buy them. So I'm not saying I never buy these, of course, there are times we buy these things, but generally by not buying them every day or every week, we will save money. So I hope these 25 plus 1 tips help you for 2024 and help you get by financially better. So number 1 is a controversial one that people don't like, but we do not buy hot drinks like teas and coffees. That means eating out, like we do not go to Starbucks, we don't get takeaway hot drinks, but not just that, we actually don't drink tea and coffee and hot chocolates and whatever chai, latte, matcha type drinks. We don't drink any hot drinks in our house. Partly because we do not like them, we don't want to drink caffeine, we don't feel like it's necessary, and we are very content with water. Yes, very boring, I'm aware, but I'd much prefer to be drinking some next to free tap water than drinking like coffees and teas can be so expensive. We've just bought some in recently. I bought some ready for the midwives. I'm having a home birth and I don't want to be that person that doesn't have any teas and coffees in for them, but I've just bought some teas and coffees and decaf tea and decaf coffee and a bit of a mixture in, so when we do have the midwives here, I have got drinks to offer them. We do not drink them, we do not generally buy them. I'll make sure I have a tea and a coffee in for when we do have guests, but we don't drink them on a regular basis. I feel like we save a ton of money because of this. And it's not only the teas and coffees, it's we also do not own a kettle, which a lot of people have an opinion on. We don't own a kettle. When we do want to boil water, we do it on the stove. And I do feel we're naturally going to save a bit of money on our bills as well, because we're not boiling the kettle consistently all day, every day. Number 2 is we do not buy alcohol. My husband and I most of the time do not drink. I am of course not drinking at the moment, but generally speaking we do not drink alcohol. If we're having people around, we might buy some beers if we've got a lot of our friends coming around, and we might buy things for that, but on a weekly basis we will not buy alcohol. I think we have a bottle of Malibu in the fridge that's been in the fridge for like 2 or 3 years that someone gifted me, because that if I do drink alcohol I do quite like Malibu, but that just shows you how little we drink. But by not drinking alcohol, whether that's spirits, wines, beers, we save a ton of money, and if we do buy them, it's only normally when we know we are having guests round. And we'll very occasionally, you'll see from my grocery hauls, buy a very cheap bottle of red and or white wine for cooking when I'm cooking certain meals, but I literally buy the cheapest one on offer because it doesn't matter about the taste, it's just about cooking with. I feel like we save so much money each week by not buying alcohol. Which moves me on to number 3, again another controversial one. We do not really buy fizzy drinks. This one, however, has the most stipulation because my husband does absolutely love fizzy drinks. I don't. I am very, very content with just drinking water. He does love fizzy drinks. Although I say we generally don't buy them, I generally on a weekly basis will not buy them. However, Every now and then my husband will request, saying there is a football match that he's going to be watching, can you grab me a bottle of X, Y and Z? And I'm happy to do that, and we tend to buy the cheaper bottles or look for deals, and I'm not going to spend full price and get the brands. We're not that precious. So this is not saying we never buy, but generally on a weekly basis we won't buy like loads of cans of fizzy drinks or loads of bottles of fizzy drinks. It's either, again, if we have people coming round, or if there is a football match on and my husband has requested a very specific drink for that moment. But generally we're not having kind of cans of Coke or Pepsi with our like lunches and dinners throughout the week. It's a one-off. Number 4 is one thing we do not buy at all is meat. We are mostly a vegetarian and or vegan family. We do not eat meat at all, and I do feel like we save so much money. I see the other day I went to the shops and saw how expensive some things of meat are, and I know that you can make loads of meals, and I get that you can eat meat affordably, but generally speaking, by eating beans and legumes that we buy in more bulk, we are naturally going to be saving money, and the meals are generally just a bit cheaper. So by not eating meat, we do save money. So if you are really struggling in your grocery budgets at the moment, look at reducing your meat intake and learning to cook with more beans and legumes and other things like that as your protein source, because it does save you money. And then number 5, one, again, people don't like it, but we do not eat out. We don't go out to eat. I would say in a year we maybe go out to eat a handful of times, if that, and it's normally me and my husband. It's not with my children, because they don't appreciate it or like it, and it makes it very expensive. It'll be, maybe we'll go for a couple of date nights where we go out to eat, and it is normally at a cheaper place. I'm not a princess. I'm not really picky about where I go to eat. There's one place that we love to go, which is Wing Kings, that we normally go when there is a football match on, because my husband and I both absolutely love football. We get to get a babysitter, we wait for a game that we really want to watch, and then there's a deal where I think it's for like £20 you get 20 vegan wings, 20 vegan wings, a side each and a drink, and we work out and we have a date night for like £20 to £30, and we really, really like that. But generally speaking, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, like, we will not go out to eat. We cook everything from scratch most of the times. If we are wanting a more of a lazier meal, then it's going to be, we'll get some pre-made vegetarian sausages or pre-made vegetarian burgers and things like that, where we're going to make like sausage sandwiches, burgers and things. But generally we will not go out to eat, maybe a handful of times a year. And if you are the type of people that go out once a week with food, then by cutting that back you will save so much money. And that goes hand in hand with my number 6, which is we do not get takeaways. Back when my middle child was born, we moved to a small village where there isn't the option of deliveries as there were when we lived more in the city. Where we used to live, we literally lived round the corner from every single takeaway you could ever imagine, and it was a lot, and our rent was a lot cheaper because it was a shared ownership, so we only had like £200 a month rent. We used to spend a lot more money on takeaways. When we moved to the village and we follow a vegan vegetarian diet, there was nothing. The local pub only really served meat, and they did do takeaways, but we couldn't eat anything from it. And the local Chinese had a 1-star rating. That tells you all you need to know. But we learned very quickly when we moved to the village that it's not worth driving out to get takeaways, and that the takeaways that we would want, we can make at home for cheaper. During lockdown, we learned how to make pizzas, and I would say we've had so many amazing compliments on my husband's pizzas that he makes, and I have made a video, I think, with the recipe in. But we make pizzas once a week from scratch, and it costs us a couple of pounds for all 4 of our pizzas, rather than if we were going to Domino's and spending like £40. We might once or twice a year get a curry takeaway, because my husband really does love curry, but we can make that as well ourselves. And we've just learnt that there's not the vegan vegetarian options around where we live to justify getting takeaways. If we lived somewhere else, like when we go visit my in-laws and go to near York, when we go into York they have so many more options, then it would probably be more tempting. But we don't have the temptation to get takeaways because there's no good ones around. So by not eating out and not getting takeaways, we save so much money. And then my number 7 thing that we don't buy regularly is, if you've seen a previous video, you might already, I've kind of done a review on this, but we do not get food subscription services. I am really against meal kit subscriptions, and recently I did a video where I put them to the test. I had a voucher and I tested out Green Chef. I'll link that down below if you're interested in watching it. And it was extortionately priced compared to making it at home. And like I say in that video, if you watch it, I've learned that there is a reason, like I can see why some people choose to do it. But generally, if you're wanting to save money, please stop the meal subscription services. You will save so much more money if you make in bulk. If you're going to make a chili, make it to serve 10 and you can freeze some portions. This is the way that you save money long term, is by making and buying in bulk. If you just buy stuff for the individual portions, then you're gonna be wasting money. And the meal kits work out, at least the one we tried, at £5 per person per portion. And that's just so much money. I can cook a whole meal for £5 for under £5 and have leftovers, and yeah. So meal kit subscriptions, if you're wanting to save money, look at please stopping them. Number 8 is a little one, but one thing we don't buy regularly is we do not buy kitchen roll. So this is not something we never buy, but generally speaking, it's maybe once or twice a year when we know we're having lots of guests around, parties, and we want an easier option. But generally we use reusable cloths. They're better for the environment, better for your pocket. You just wash them at the end. We don't buy kitchen rolls. I don't feel like they're necessary. And along with that, number 9 is we do not buy plastic water bottles. So again, this is not something we never buy. If we're out and about and I've forgotten my water bottle, or we have ran out and we need to get them, of course we will buy some. But generally speaking, we use reusable water bottles, or we use cups, and we don't buy plastic ones. And if we do buy a plastic water bottle, I don't think you're meant to do this. People like to tell me you're not meant to, but I've never had a problem with it. We do then reuse that water bottle for a while until it cannot be used anymore as well. Number 10 is we do not buy jars of sauces. So when we got married, we learned to cook the basics. We learned to cook a roux, a basic tomato sauce, some basic curry sauces. If you can learn to make these from scratch, you are going to save a lot more money than if you're going to buy the branded jars of like Domino's, I can't say it, like carbonara sauces. You can make them yourself so much cheaper, so much better, make more of them, and they're better for your pocket. So we don't buy jars of sauce, we just make our own. Similar to that is my number 11, is we do not buy brands. We generally will buy the value of everything. I don't care about specific brands. If there's a deal on one and it works out cheaper, then I'm happy to buy the brand. But generally I'm not brand loyal. I will go for the value option over the brand pretty much every single time, and that is how we do save a lot of money. It'd be interesting to do a video on buying my normal food shop but only buying the brands to see the price difference, because if you are really brand loyal, I'm going to link a video down below where I test out my brand loyal cousin to the brands that she says she knows and loves, and I would encourage people to, if you are brand loyal, try a few blind taste tests, like do a blind taste test. You can then see if you're brand loyal for a reason or not. Because generally speaking, it's all in your head. So if you only buy Heinz ketchup, go and get someone to buy 3 or 4 different ketchups, try them in a blind tasting, and then see if you really can detect your Heinz. And if you can, great. If you want to keep buying that, that's up to you. But if you can't, then why spend the extra money when you don't need to? Number 12, something I don't own at all. I don't own any of these. I don't buy them. And that is nail polish. I don't paint my nails. I don't really have nails. I may be a nail biter, but I save a lot of money by not buying loads of different nail polishes and needing everything to be different. And that goes along with my number 13, is also makeup. I, as you can probably tell, am not a huge makeup person. I have some cover up, like I have something to cover the bags under my eyes, have some mascara and some blush, and that's kind of all I use. And I will only buy new ones when I've ran out. I don't have multiple of the same item. I don't have loads of different mascaras. I don't have loads of different foundations, I have one of each item, and then I do not buy another one until it runs out. It's not something I go when I'm going to the shops to go, oh, I want to buy a new, try this one, try that, try a new lip liner. No, I have all of my makeup fits in a very teeny tiny small makeup bag, and that is how I intend it to stay. And then what I do is when one runs out, I just replace it. Number 14, going back to almost the kitchen, is I do not buy sponges. So like I said with the kitchen roll, I use reusable cloths and I will use reusable scrubbers, and I don't buy things that are disposable. And if I do, it's occasionally when I know that I've got a busy event that's going to happen at home and I can bin them at the end. So I might buy some scourers once every 6 months, but I will use them so much until they cannot be used anymore. Please don't use sponges and scrubbers for once. They are meant to be used over and over again. And number 15 is I do not buy fabric softener. We just use a non-bio detergent. I feel like fabric softener is a waste of money. It's actually really bad for your clothes, and I don't feel like it's needed. I just need to clean my clothes and they are fresh enough as it is, and I save a lot of money by only using washing detergent. Number 16 is we do not pay for subscription services, and I mean that in any subscription you can think of. The only subscriptions that we currently pay for is, I do believe we have an Amazon Prime subscription and my husband's PlayStation subscription, which every year, I need to write this down, every year it always surprises me because I got it for him for Christmas however many years ago. Every year around Christmas, the PlayStation Network subscription comes out and I'm always so cross because I forget that it's coming. We do not do subscriptions, whether that is like, you can do like cheese box subscriptions, you can do like Netflix, all of these, we don't have any. And if we want one of the subscriptions, our rule of thumb is we're only allowed one. So if we wanted a Netflix subscription, then we'd be cancelling the Amazon Prime subscription. We have got Disney Plus through my sister-in-law, but if she cancelled that, we wouldn't then pay to have it ourselves. It's only that she's offered for us to use it that we do. And I was listening to a YouTube video earlier where someone said, I think the average amount of subscriptions a household has is between 12 and 17, which blew my mind. So please, if you are looking to save money in 2024, go through your subscriptions and rotate them, cancel them. If you want to keep them all, that's fine, but don't do them all at once. So if you want Netflix for a month, watch stuff and then cancel that and restart Audible, and I can't even think of all subscriptions, but yeah, cancel your subscriptions, you'll save so much money. And similar to that, my number 17 is we do not have TV channels. So we don't have Sky, we don't have any form of TV. If there's anything we want to watch, then we will kind of go out to watch it or see if it's on something we can subscribe to, short amount of time. Often, if there's something we want to watch, most of the time we get the free month's trial and we watch it, and then we'll just cancel it straight after and we don't have to pay anything for it. But we don't have TV. We don't watch enough TV to justify it. The only thing we really watch is football, and we can go out to that. We go to my dad's. We have loads of different ways in which we can watch the football, but that is the only real thing that we watch on TV, so we don't have television channels. Going into a nude section, my number 18 is I do not buy things like body lotion. You know, like the bath sets that people get you around Christmas? I personally hate all of those type of things. I don't use them. I'm not that person. I'll buy a thing of coconut oil. That's what I use as my body lotion, and I think it took me about 4 or 5 years to get through my last one. But I don't buy things like body lotion. I feel like they're extortionately priced. They normally have lots of stuff in them that aren't necessarily the best ingredients. I just don't feel like they're necessary, and I save money by not buying that stuff. Which goes along with my number 19 is I do not regularly buy shampoo and conditioner. That is not saying I don't buy it, I just don't buy it regularly. What I do is I actually buy in bulk. I normally buy the Faith in Nature 5 litre shampoo and conditioners, and they last me years. They work out way cheaper per 100 mils. Then I don't have to consistently remember to buy them. I don't have to rush around trying to get any. They'll last me, I think that my last shampoo lasted us like, everyone in the house uses them, I think it lasted like 3 years, I want to say. So that's one way I save money, is I'm not going to the shop looking for what new shampoo and conditioner shall I use. I just buy in bulk and it works out cheaper. and I know that I've got some, and I'm never panicking that I need to go buy shampoo and conditioner. Number 20, one thing I refuse to buy is air fresheners. I have really bad asthma, and lots of things that have artificial fragrances don't do well for me, and air fresheners and things like air fresheners and candles and things like that are really not good for my breathing. So we do not buy air fresheners. If we want our house to feel fresh, we're going to open windows, we're going to clean. Number 21 is notepads. I will buy one notepad, use it until it is completely ran out, and then I'll buy another one. I don't have stashes of notepads that I'm buying because they're pretty. As much as I would love to, I do love a beautiful notepad, but generally I will just buy a notepad once one of mine has run out, or I'll ask for them for birthday or Christmas if I feel like it's nearly running out, and use that until it's used up. Not only does this save you money, it also saves you space in your house. I feel like I could very easily have a collection of beautiful notepads, but it's just not necessary, so I do not buy notepads. Number 22 is I do not buy multiple different cleaners. I tend to buy a big 5-litre bottle of Dr. Bronner's soap that I dilute into spray bottles, and I do the same with vinegar, and that is what I use to clean my house, and I use them all to clean the same things. I don't have loads of different cleaners. Every now and then I'll buy like a bleach for the toilet, which I know isn't the best, but I feel like bleach is the only thing that cleans toilets properly. But I won't have multiple different cleaners. I'll have 1 or 2 cleaners that I use for the entire house, and I will use them up and won't buy another one until they're all used up. So I'm not regularly buying loads of different cleaners each week. Which kind of goes along with that is number 23 is perfumes. I do not buy perfumes. So I own one perfume, and I've owned it for like 3 years. But I generally try not to use perfumes, like I said, because my asthma, it doesn't do me very well. It does affect me, but I don't have multiple different perfumes. I'll have one perfume that someone will often gift me, and I will use that up. I'll only use that until it's used up, and I won't replace it until it's completely gone. I don't have a collection. I don't shop for comfort. When I'm sad, I'm not going to go to the shop and buy makeup and buy perfumes and buy nail polishes and buy all these different things. I'm just going to use what I've got until it's ran out, and then when it runs out, if I want to replace it, I will. And that's similar with my number 24, which is clothes. I do not buy generally clothes. This is a bit different because if I need clothes, of course I'm going to buy some, but I'm not someone that on a weekly basis, I'm not going on like a Saturday morning, I'm not going out shopping and wanting loads of new clothes. I generally don't buy clothes, and when I do, I don't enjoy it. I'll often buy in secondhand in charity shops or buy bulk bundles on like Vinted and eBay. So clothes are not something that I buy regularly, and I will not often have a list of clothes I feel like I need, and then if I'm feeling like I need a pair of jeans, I'll write that down and wait a few weeks and see, do I actually need that? And then if after a few weeks I go, yes, I still really need this pair of jeans, then I will go and purchase that item. It's not on a, I need it now, go get it, go, 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 and I'm going to run off and buy it. I'm going to wait and sit with it for a bit and see if I still need that. Number 25 is we do not buy electronics. And what I mean is by that is we don't have loads of different and new items that we buy regularly. Like we don't get a new phone really regularly, or new TVs, or new anything electronical. Is that the right word? Anything that's electric we use up until it cannot be used anymore. We will save up money. If we feel like we're going to need to replace it, we'll save up the money to be able to buy it in cash. So if one of our phones is coming to the end of its life, we're going to be saving up some money and going to buy a new to us phone. We buy our phone second hand, but it'll be a new to us phone. I've had my phone for, how long have I had it for? Since like 2020. Yeah, no, I've had it since 2020, and it's still fine. I don't intend to get another one anytime soon, but I bought it second hand, like new second hand, for 100 or 200 quid, and that will do me until it completely breaks. But I don't feel like we aren't people that need the next best electrical item. We just use what we've got. So they are my 25 items that we don't buy on a weekly or regular basis. But I do have one little bonus tip at the end of this, which is we do not buy things we cannot afford. If we do not have the cash to buy it, we do not buy it. That is my biggest tip for anything. If you, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, have no money left, but you want to buy something you can't afford to, stop buying things that you cannot afford. That is my biggest tip to most of my videos like this. My biggest tip is don't buy things you can't afford. So that is my little bonus tip for you, is we do not buy things on a weekly basis that we cannot afford. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It might have been a bit random. I'm not sure if the lighting was great. I was watching it and it's going to be interesting. My videos are not looking great recently. My camera is very, very old. That was everything, guys. If you have any more things that I might have forgotten, let me know down below. Or if you give me some more ideas, that would be great, because there's always ways that we can save money and spend less. So I hope this helps you in 2024. Check out some of my other videos if you are wanting to live a more frugal life. And I'm hoping to get more videos out for you, and hopefully a birth story soon, because I don't feel like I can get any bigger. But I will see you in my next video, guys. Have an amazing January. Bye, friends.